Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and hot on the heels of the news that David Lynch looked ready to helm Jurassic World 4. Well, it didn't take very long because he's already dropped out of the project. Why? You guessed it, creative differences. Now, we're going to have a look at the article on this. We did discuss in the last video that was talking about him coming into the project that he may eventually drop out over creative differences for the fact that the movie was already in the works. There was already a writer put in place well before they were looking for the director, which would make more sense that there could be creative differences. Except at this point, I don't think they've even actually started to write the story. I think they'd be building it out and discussing it, but I don't think they've actually started to write it. But we'll have a look at what it says about this, because this is funny. Because it really didn't take long. And you know what else doesn't take long? Hitting the sub and the like button. So go ahead, give that little button a little press there. Let's go. And with that, we shall continue and have a look at this funny circumstances for this movie. So Universal recently confirmed plans for a new Jurassic World movie from Jurassic Park scriber David Cope. 2022's Jurassic World Dominion was billed as the franchise's conclusion, but we knew that wouldn't last, particularly when the studio is relatively light on franchises and Fast and Furious and is nearing. It also, the producer, I think it was the producer, flat out before the movie even came out said, oh yeah, we've ideas to keep the movie franchise going. Don't forget about that. Earlier this week, we learned that Deadpool 2 director David Leitch was in talks to helm the untitled movie. Things sounded promising and fans started getting excited about what sort of action-packed, stunt-heavy spin the Bullet Train helmer might put on the popular Dino series. I haven't heard anybody being excited about this movie. Well, the trades have since confirmed he's dropped out of the project. According to Hollywood Reporter, and this is what they say, part of the problem is that Universal is so far along on the project that Leitch would essentially have been more of a shooter than someone who could have really put his stamp on the film. What that means, if anyone's not quite sure, it means you would essentially just be a director with no say on the story. Very much like Ridley Scott was on the first Alien. He had nothing to do with the story, the casting, anything like that, the designs, nothing. He literally was the guy that just sat there and said action and cut. That's all Ridley Scott was to Alien, and that's essentially what David Leitch would have been on this. So he obviously wanted to put input into it, and they were obviously saying no. So an inside source notes there's not enough time to work with new ideas. So this is saying they don't want to shift a start date, production date, and release date. And if Leitch was getting to put his ideas into the movie, they would probably have to delay the movie, which is probably still going to end up happening. That's the funny thing. They're refusing clearly to, I suppose in their mind, compromise the movie, and yet they have compromised the movie because they've just lost their director, or the person at least who was in talks to direct for them. So it didn't take long, did it? It literally took, 4 days? 4 or 5 days before we were told, hey, Deadpool 2 and Bullet Trains, David Leitch is going to direct Jurassic World 4. Oh, hold my beer. No, he isn't. and over what we all said he would probably drop out at some stage closer to production start, which was creative differences. And it seems like the creative differences popped up while only in the negotiating part of him helming this movie. So it didn't take very long, did it? Crazy. Anyway, with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.